price tag on it, look what love cost me. So much going on, I even loved you on my off days. How you gonna do your nigga like that? Just don't do no nigga like that. You told me where they do that. How you gonna do your nigga like that? Point that shit out on the map. Show me where they do that at. How you gonna do your nigga like that? Just don't do no nigga like that. You told me where they do that. How you gonna do your nigga like that? Point that shit out on the map and show me where they do that.
What's going on, people? This is your boy Say One's History. You are watching The Male's Perspective. We about to get into it today. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can be updated for all cool new content that's coming out. I'm not going to hold you guys. I want to actually go ahead and bring a guest on the line here. We actually did have originally 2 guests on the line, but we actually just lost him, but we'll get him back in just a little bit. But today I have a good friend on the line. His name is Emery. He actually just came out with a book, I want to say a couple of months ago here. And I just want you to speak on that, give you some time to actually shine on that really quick, Emery. Could you tell us about your book?
Okay, it's actually my 3rd book, to be specific.
Okay.
I published it in the last quarter of 2022, and I titled the book "Articles on the Mad Modern Woman." Did you get that?
Yes, sir. Articles on the Mad Modern Woman. Fits well.
Exactly. I decided to write that book because I was tired of the madness of a one-sided monopoly of female opinion on issues pertaining to love, marriage, and relationships. If you look closely at most divorce cases in the United States, the man is fighting for access to his children while the woman is fighting for money. And most times when the man ends up paying child support, most of these women spend the money on themselves rather than the children they claim to be getting the money for.
Yeah.
So,
go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I
ahead.
didn't mean to cut you off.
Okay. When you go on relationship talk shows and a couple of other live events, everyone, the church, talk show hosts, whether it's CNN, everyone seems to be interested primarily in the woman's opinion. Nobody cares about hearing the man's side of the story. The fact that men are more on the side of homelessness than women in the United States, the fact that the suicide rate amongst men is higher compared to their female counterparts, no one seems to highlight these areas of significance. It's just whatever the woman says goes. So I was tired and I decided to do something about it. And I felt the best approach was to write a book.
I definitely agree, and we're going to get into that a lot today, actually. Speaking in reference to the woman's perspective, but I want to actually go ahead and show a few clips right now that actually speaks on that particular topic. There are some women out there that are actually advocates for men, and I really want to make sure that we highlight that as well. So let's go ahead and get into it, you guys. Let me just line this up. Line this up really quick.
All right, that's cool.
And we're going to get into it here.
I believe that men have it the hardest when it comes to just life in general, because it's like,
Okay.
nobody's gonna save you unless you got rich parents that give you money or whatever. Nobody's gonna save you. As far as like us women, if not saying that's who I am, but if one day I don't want to work, I'm sure I can find a dude that's gonna take care of me.
Absolutely.
Just for that, I'm like, yo, I'm kind of lucky to be a woman.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying we don't go through our share of issues as far as like safety and, you know, stuff like that. But I believe it's harder to be a man at all times.
And she's absolutely.
Okay, I kind of see you smiling over there, Emery. I see.
I'm smiling because I agree with her 100%.
And it's true, man.
100%.
Let me speak to this really quick here, because me and you, anytime we talk and we have a conversation, we seem to always agree on a lot of things that we see in these podcasts, these YouTube channels and whatnot, you know, because we deal with them or have dealt with them at some point in our lives here. But one thing she said that was really interesting to me, and I have statistics on this, is that men usually end up homeless. And it's true.
Correct.
It is very true. And there was a clip, I don't have the clip up, but the clip was actually a woman that was saying that men are more homeless in living in homes, like old folks' homes, and they die there because they're not doing what they're supposed to do. They don't love their family, love their kids. And I have a counter to that. Argument. The reason men are living in these old homes, the reason men don't have these support systems, because society has deemed that men are less. I remember when I was growing up, and you know, my mother and my father were having issues or whatever they would go through. And this is no hit on my mom or anything like that, but if she needed to find a place, there would be family members that would take her in if needed. Take her in with us. You will never see that with a man. A man is always told, hey, you need to be able to figure this out on your own. You know, you need to make this work. If you lose your job, hey, you just need to be out in your car if you have a car.
Exactly.
In America, there are literally, I can count the number of homes, the shelters for men on one hand. But if you drive on the freeway here, I'm in Sacramento, California. If you drive on the freeway here in Sacramento, California, going to San Francisco, you will be able to see signs for at least 3 shelters for women. 3 shelters for women just out here alone. I actually Uber or rideshare on the side to make extra money. I don't know how many times I can tell you how many times I've dropped women off to shelters. Not saying that they don't need these shelters. They do. But where is that same effort? Where's that same support for men? It's not there.
For men.
It's
Exactly.
Not there.
Exactly.
Man, like you said, I'm noticing that we just recently had Men's Awareness Month, couple of months ago. It was actually in February. Nobody talked about it.
Okay.
No one talked about it. There was nothing about men's mental health awareness, nothing going on in the news. Nobody talked about it on YouTube. There was nothing going on about it whatsoever. This was in February. Meanwhile, the statistics for men deleting themselves actually went up. We are in, I want to say, on a daily basis, there are at least 40 men that are deleting themselves on a daily basis in America alone. 40 men at least deleting themselves, offing themselves. I think it's more than that, actually. Let me go ahead and look that up. I think it's more than that. But regardless, that's a ridiculous number. If we had 40 babies or 40 women, I want to say it's way more than that. Let me see. I could.
It has to be. It very likely is way more than that.
Men killing themselves.
Yes.
Oh my God. I was way off. Okay.
How many?
Okay. Wow. It says roughly 3,000 men kill themselves per day.
My God.
Come on, you guys. Seriously.
That should be a source for national concern.
That is crazy. I just gotta chill a little bit. Look, check this out. You know, this is a show, and you know, we are here to entertain you, but we are also here to educate you too. And when I just read that, it kind of sent a chill up my spine a little bit. I did not realize it was that many men that were killing themselves on a daily basis. I'm reading it a little bit more, and what's happening is these men will have health issues. They range anywhere from 30 to 55 years old, have health issues. Nobody's willing to take them in. So they just figure they would be better off deleting themselves. They've had situations where women have divorced them. They have no money
and taking their stuff,
taking their livelihood. They're ending up sleeping in their cars, and these are not men who have not been taking care of themselves. These are men who are affluent men. These are working men, making anywhere from $40,000 to $100,000 a year.
$100,000 a year,
and then get in the court systems and end up losing everything. Everything.
You're right.
And women talk about how they need alimony to live the life that they had previously had with that man. But what about that man? Go ahead. I see you, Emery. Go ahead, brother. I see you.
Exhibit. You know the rapper Exhibit.
Say that again.
You know the rapper Exhibit.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. Yes.
His ex-wife is living in his $3 million mansion with her new boyfriend, and he's still expected to pay her alimony.
Yo, yo,
Can you imagine this?
that would make you go off on the deep end right there. Look, I don't care if she's sleeping in a Toyota Corolla that I bought. If I bought it and she's sleeping in that mug with another man, that's a problem for me. Let alone a multi-million-dollar home. Doing God's
$3
no
million
way.
home.
Doing God knows
$3 million
what.
home. You know, I've been thinking as well. You heard about the story of Jonathan Majors.
Yes, yes.
Good. You are now aware that current evidence has turned the case slowly in his favor. But guess what? That guy has lost an endorsement which he was supposed to have with the U.S. Army.
Correct.
You're aware of that, right?
Yep.
He also lost he also lost out on a number of other contracts.
Hey, wait a minute, what the hell?
Meanwhile, he lost out on a number of other endorsements purely on the allegations of the lady that he assaulted her. Now there's proof that the reverse was actually the case. The question is he still going to get those endorsements he lost?
No.
The likelihood is no.
Not only that, but there's some new information in regards to the Jonathan Majors case, and I don't know if you're familiar with this, and that is that he also lost the role to Kang as well. So they have
I'm
replaced
aware
him.
of that.
That's
Yes. Can you imagine? The biggest step up in his life. A false allegation has robbed him of it. Okay, now hold on. What about the guy? What's the name of this football club? You heard of Mendy, the 29-year-old footballer that was accused of rape. I can't remember the name of the football club. If I can look it up quickly on my other phone.
Yeah, go ahead. But I know who you're talking about. I just don't know the name.
His name is Mendy.
Okay. Shout out to everybody. Make sure that you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can be updated for all new content that's coming out. Just want to let you guys know that we really do appreciate you guys for checking out the content. And we're going to keep going. We're going to keep moving on. We're going to keep doing it, you guys. But anyway.
Okay, I've seen it. His name is Benjamin Mendy.
Okay.
Yeah, he's 29 years old. He was falsely accused of rape by a number of women that were his intimate acquaintances in the very recent past. Now, it was discovered that these women didn't only lie, they Googled his net worth before they decided to falsely accuse him of rape. That's one. The attorney on behalf of Mendy also discovered that there is a feminist WhatsApp group which those women belong to, where they combine ideas on how best to frame men.
You gotta be fucking kidding! You gotta be kidding me! Come on now, don't play with me like that. Come on.
I'm serious. The article is on the internet. After now, you can look it up. You can read it. So all of those women actually came together, created a WhatsApp group, checked out the player's worth, and decided that they were going to come out one after the other to say that he raped them, when he did not. Now, this guy has been suspended from Man City for over 2 years. He had missed out on all the leagues. He had missed out on the winnings. He had missed out on salary. He had missed out on everything for 2 years. And guess what? There's still no guarantee that they may call him back.
And you know that going on, and I know what's going on. So here's the situation with that, and I understand these companies and these businesses and these conglomerates to a degree, because they don't care regardless if you're guilty or not. They care about their bottom dollar, and they care whether or not this stuff is going to happen again. So they're the way. Go ahead.
They care about public image.
Yes.
More than the truth. So if any club feels that they're going to get negative publicity for not dropping a player for whatever he was accused of, whether it be true or false, their image comes first. They will drop the player even if he's being falsely accused and they know it. At least until it is proven in court.
And sometimes not even until then. Not even then.
Correct.
Back on Jonathan Majors a little bit here because I want to speak to that a little bit more. This dude has been ran through the ringer. I was just looking at the stuff, an article in regards to Jonathan Major, and I don't know if you guys are following up on it and checking it out like me and Emery are, but just recently, it came out that the woman, she had been given a card saying that she was going to be arrested or something. They have some kind of system out there in New York where they're saying they're going to give her a card because she needs to come in for questioning or something like that. So somehow she got tipped off, whether it was by her lawyer or whether it was by the police or it was by the judge. But she fled. She literally left to another country, you guys. Left to another country because she was going to be arrested. Now, if it was a man situation, the roles were reversed and the man left, they would send somebody over or have that particular country say, no, let's go ahead and ship him back. They would extradite him immediately. But
Correct.
Not only did they not extradite her, but it came to be clear that the lawyer tipped her off and said, hey, you know, this is going to come down the pipeline where they're going to find out that you hit this man, he didn't hit you, so you need to go. You need to go. So they tipped her off. Now he's in court trying to figure out if he can sue the actual lawyers. If he can sue the lawyers.
Exactly.
And I hope he does. I really hope he does because they've ruined his image. He's lost millions of dollars. He's lost out on roles that he can never get back. His credibility is shot. Even if people do believe him about everything that's happened, a lot he is tainted. He's tainted. People won't touch him. And ladies, you have to think about
funny thing.
I don't even think they.
You know what?
I'm thinking.
The women.
Go ahead.
These women know exactly what they're doing. That part I can assure you. They know exactly what they're doing. Some of them go as far as getting legal advice before they start. That's how bad it is. So you might be here assuming that, maybe if they know better, they'll do better. Hell to the no. They know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing.
The only thing I think we can do is make an effort to get these laws changed. And even then, I don't even think they're going to be changed because the thing that we haven't talked about yet today is that the governments actually benefit from taking child support from the actual man themselves because they get a portion of that money in their pension. So there's no incentive for men or for the legal system to actually make it better for men because child support actually goes to the pensions of the lawyers and the judges and the legal system when they retire. So there's no incentive for them. There's no incentive for the woman to stay or try to do the right thing. The best thing I can tell a man in this day and age, I don't know how it is where you're at, Emery, but I can tell you the best thing to do is to not get married in the United States.
That particular advice is very popular the world over. I can assure you, a lot of guys are watching what's going on to the brothers in the US and are just shaking our heads. Nobody with a brain in his head in the United States would marry under American law.
So how is it being seen over in other countries? How are men actually seeing it, and how is it affecting you guys where you're at?
Well, the one thing about society is that the propensities, culture, or behavior of the dominant society or the world power or the leading country. It has a way of filtering down, whether you like it or not, into this world of social media. There's Facebook, there's TikTok, there's Twitter. So everyone here is seeing what's going on over there. And as funny as it sounds, some of the women here are borrowing negative cues.
Oh, I believe that.
Yeah, they are. They're borrowing very negative cues over there to see if they can implement it and effect it over here. But because of the strength of culture and a host of other factors, most times it backfires.
So I'll say another thing too. The everybody talks about America when we had like a whole bunch of like export of cars going to other countries, and now we don't export anything. And I tell them, yeah, we do. America does export one thing, and they export it really good, and that's culture. And they don't care if it's good culture. It's 9 times out of 10 it's not good culture. It's bullshit usually. And and I just recently took a trip to the Philippines, and one thing I noticed is the women out there, anywhere from 16 all the way up to about 27, have adopted the Western culture. It is,
you know the thing. It starts out very slowly at first. In the Philippines, they think they may be able to manage it. They may think they may be able to, maybe it's just the funky way of talking, the sassy way of talking, maybe the dressing, the I wouldn't want to say whore culture, but what some women call being bold, exploring their sexuality, promiscuity, and all of that. But at the end of the day, these women in the Philippines, give them 10 years. If they don't change their direction, they will find themselves in the exact same place as the American woman, white and black alike. That's what will happen. The men in the Philippines will start going elsewhere to look for wives to marry, like men in the...
It's already happening in China. Men in China are literally leaving China, and they're going to places like Cambodia. They're going to Vietnam. Some of them are going to the Philippines because they say that their women are no longer feminine anymore, and they don't want to deal with them.
Good.
It's
anyway. If you read one of the chapters in my book, there was something I explained. You see, everything that is happening today is not cultural evolution by accident. It is cultural evolution by design.
So why? Okay.
And,
why?
I said cultural evolution by design because there is a plan to depopulate this world. That plan is linked to the destruction of the traditional family structure. That plan is linked to the elimination of private property. That same plan is linked to the destruction of inheritance. That same plan is also linked to the abolishment of other governments. If you read, I think it's chapter 7 or 8 of my book, it's titled The Cultural War and the New Feminine Army.
Yeah.
If you read that chapter, I explained all of these things in detail. They commercialize pornography so that they can distract the man and the woman from one another. They incentivize divorce so that women can do away with the provision of a husband. In the case of the United States, where the husband is more or less useless because the government can step in to play the role of the provider. And then some women would say, if the government can provide for me and I don't need to be under the authority or direction of a man, it seems like a sweeter deal. So she takes the welfare and throws the man out of the house.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That and actually was a big deal back in the 90s.
Yes. And then absent fathers have a cascading effect of producing unruly children, which end up in prison because 70% of the inmates in prisons are individuals from single mother households. And guess what? America has a commercialized prison system.
Yes.
Do you see how this all fits in? Good. So you incentivize divorce so that women can throw the men out. They get paid. You incentivize single motherhood so the women get welfare. They do a poor job in raising children who grow up to become the input of the American commercial prison system. So the shareholders at the top are making money for this system when one part of the Lego fits into the other, like a hand fits into a glove.
Okay, so let me speak on this for a second, and I want to commend you for that. That is absolutely correct. And one thing I just have to say to that is that shit is crazy. But here's the thing that I worry about, and I wonder what their plan is for the years to come after this fully develops. Is this not sustainable? Okay, it's not sustainable. The government cannot keep giving out these benefits and this money to these women on a consistent basis over the next 50 years. I mean, there was a study that just came out saying that an additional 50% of women were going to be single and childless here by 2030. And now they're saying with the movement of passport bros expediting so fast, it's actually going to be coming a lot quicker than that. Man, they're even talking about there's going to be a dominantly they're saying it's going to be like when King Philip conquered oh god, I want to say it wasn't the Philippines. I think he went over to Spain or something like that, and basically there was a period of time where the Mexican or Spanish or race was created because of Philip conquering that particular area in Spain. Now they're saying it's not going to be a conquering situation with the Philippines, but men are just going to get tired of dealing with women in the United States, and they're going to go over to the Philippines. They're going to reproduce with these women over in the Philippines, over in the Dominican Republic, over in Brazil, because they're more friendly, they're more nice, they're more reasonable, more. And look, just an FYI for people that don't know, I actually met a very beautiful woman over in the Philippines. Beautiful woman in the Philippines. Not in not just in her looks. I mean, in her personality, in her respect, the way she was raised. It reminds me of the femininity that I used to see in the 90s. And a lot of people ask me why I won't get married. I think we actually lost Emery here, but I'm going to go back and make sure we actually get him in here. So hang on 1 second, you guys, but we're going to get into it. Bear with me for 1 second. Go ahead and let you guys check something out here while we fix this issue here.
Miss Worldwide, let's celebrate.
I just wanna
celebrate.